Hello and welcome to our second video. Obviously we did a video a while ago now where we talked about that we'd bought a villa in Spain. We bought it in the end without actually seeing it. What we did say is that we'd take you through the process of what we've experienced while doing this, and in a hope to guide you guys as well, to give you something. I'm trying to give you as much information as possible to avoid any pitfalls that we may have come across, and also good advice going forward. So as I said, we did end up putting an offer in on this place in Los Altos in Punta Prima. It got accepted, and at that point, although we had our deposit, we had everything sorted, we had nothing else in place. We didn't have a solicitor, we didn't have a mortgage, we didn't have anything else at this point in time. So when we did make the offer, and we obviously paid the deposit over, one of the conditions that came across with that was that, obviously, as we said before, what you do is you pay a deposit, which in our case was £6,000. That deposit of £6,000 secured the property and took it off the market. What it also meant was that if we pulled out of the deal, then we would lose that. But if the people who were selling to us pulled out, they would pay double. What we did agree was on condition that we got the mortgage sorted within the first 2 weeks. So we went away, and I went to the bank. We had already been speaking to prior to us going out there, but then put everything in place. Luckily, the bank were really, really good. They came back to us quite quickly, and they sorted out the mortgage and gave us that offer in principle. So we knew we were good to go. Can I just say at this point though, we were still trying to sort solicitors and all the rest of it. I'll hand over to Hazel and she can sort of take you through that bit of it really.
So when you sign the initial contract, it's when you've paid the €6,000 it usually is. So that takes it off the market. It just stops anybody trying to gazump you really. So you know that it's not been advertised or nobody else is looking at it, it's totally off the market. The thing that they do when they do that contract though is, it does have a date on it. What I would recommend is making sure it's got 12 weeks on it, the date of completion, just so you've got enough time to sort your mortgage out, because there's a lot of paperwork, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it just gives you that sort of reassurance, because we were under the impression that within 8 weeks we'd have it, because that is what was on that contract, and that's not what happened, even though we acted quite quickly on getting everything sorted. So that would be my only advice at this stage. So that gives you a good 3 months then.
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of those things is that things can move quite quickly in Spain, but one of the things that doesn't move particularly quickly, as we found out, was that in order for us to do this, and without flying back and forth to the UK, we needed to give our solicitor what's called power of attorney.
Yeah.
Now, to give our solicitor power of attorney in Spain was relatively easy, and this is a bit of a pre-warning. This is one of those things that you can get drawn into and pay a lot of money for, and you really don't have to do that. But it does take a bit more time. Hence Hazel's comment about making sure you've got enough time.
Yeah, we paid power of attorney, which I can't remember exactly how much it was.
Yeah, well, we ended up paying, which was, I think it was £150, for the actual the notary in the UK to validate everything and whatever else. Now what you will find is that notaries will offer you all these services where they'll do it, they'll take it to London, they'll get this done, they'll get that done, they'll send it to Spain, they'll get all of this, and they'll charge you £500, £600, £700 we were quoted for doing this. Yeah. The reality is that actually you need the notary in the UK to actually sign everything off and whatever else while you're there with them. That can cost between £150, £200 as an average. After that, you can actually do everything yourself on the Foreign Commonwealth Office website, and it's about £37 to register all the documents and all the rest of it and send them to them.
Which you do by the post office.
Which you need to pay. Yeah, recorded delivery, so that's another £4 or £5. And then on that site, you can also at the same time agree to send that to your solicitor in Spain for around about £27. So to do the whole thing, can cost you no more than sort of just over £200, depending on the notary cost. So don't get drawn into where these notaries are trying to charge you £400, £500 to do this type of work. I'll be honest with you,
It
yeah.
doesn't take as long as they like you to think.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
Yeah.
still would though does take around 3 weeks doing it this way.
Yeah.
So if you do need it quickly, then yes, okay, maybe use one of their services. But
You will
to
be
be fair,
paying a
I think
lot
you'll be
more.
paying a lot more money than you need to just for that.
Yeah. So our solicitor was brilliant. She's from
Los Balcones.
yeah. So but she's an English lady. So that was really easy. We've been conversing with her via WhatsApp calls and messages. So anything that came in Spanish that we weren't sure of, she translated and she helped with it. So it was pretty smooth really and pretty easy. So yeah, once we've got the notarized documents back to Spain, we then got the mortgage agreement.
Yeah, so I think what happened, I think in the reality, the way things fall is that it seems to move a bit quickly, sorting things out, paying deposits, getting things whatever, getting everything agreed in the mortgage, etc., etc. But once you've got that to that point, unless you can go out to Spain and start to sign things, then you need to get this power of attorney, which then things slow down, and that's why it says it took 2, 3, probably, it was probably for us nearly 4 weeks before that got sorted.
It's totally worth it though. It saves you so much money with flying back and forth. Obviously the solicitor that's representing us speaks Spanish, so they can liaise with the notary in Spain. You're not trying to do it yourself, so it is a lot easier. We wouldn't know where to start, would we? And for what, 200-300 euros?
Yeah.
We couldn't get flights for both of us for that really, because it was around Easter time, wasn't it? So it was worth just paying, and it made it a lot less stressful. You're not taking more time off work because it's a second home after all, isn't it? It's not a permanent move.
And the same solicitor will act for us going forward as well, so it was a good relationship to build.
Yeah.
So, as I said, once they got the power of attorney back to Spain, then to be fair, things do start to move reasonably quickly at that point, in the sense of that obviously bank accounts can be set up, NIE numbers can be attained, and you know, I mean, the background information into the property can be sorted out by a solicitor, and we can move forward. So I think on that point, I think we're going to give this video a bit of a, we'll call it a day, and we'll talk about then once that power of attorney is returned to Spain, and how quickly things can then move forward from there and go from there. So if you like this video, please subscribe, please thumbs up, press like, and we'll speak to you soon. All right, bye bye.